Saiga antelope, a species on the brink of extinction. The Saiga antelope population has faced devastating declines over recent decades, bringing the species to the brink of extinction. The reality is both shocking and tragic, as the saiga once abundant across the vast steppes of Eurasia now fights for survival. This situation has become emblematic of how rapidly environmental changes, combined with human pressures, can decimate a species. Population collapse, by the numbers. Saigas once roamed in the millions across the grasslands of Central Asia, from Russia to Mongolia. As recently as the 1950s, their population was estimated at over 2 million. By the early 2000s, the global saiga population had plummeted by more than 95%. Only a few thousand individuals were left, scattered in small, fragmented herds. The main reasons were overhunting and habitat loss, worsened by the collapse of the Soviet Union. In 2015, the largest known die-off of the Saiga antelope occurred in Kazakhstan. Within just a few weeks, 200,000 saigas representing nearly half of the global population died due to a bacterial infection triggered by unusual weather conditions. This unprecedented event sent shockwaves through the conservation world. While some conservation efforts have allowed the saiga population to slowly recover, the species remains critically endangered. By 2021, the global population had rebounded slightly to around 800,000, but the species remains extremely vulnerable to future disasters. The shocking causes behind their decline: following the Soviet Union's collapse, economic hardship drove many locals to illegally hunt saigas for their horns, which are highly sought after in traditional Chinese medicine. The intense pressure from poaching caused saiga numbers to spiral downwards, with entire populations wiped out in some regions. The 2015 mass die-off from a Pastorella multocida infection, linked to sudden climate changes, highlighted how vulnerable the species is to disease outbreaks. Scientists now believe that rising temperatures and increasing humidity, possibly tied to climate change, could cause similar die-offs in the future. Expanding agriculture, infrastructure projects, and industrial developments have severely fragmented the saiga's natural habitat. This not only restricts their ability to migrate but also heightens their susceptibility to environmental stressors. As temperatures rise and weather patterns shift unpredictably, the saiga's traditional grazing grounds are becoming less hospitable. The grasslands that once supported them are increasingly affected by droughts, extreme weather, and shrinking water resources, which further strains the population. The grim reality of their future. While conservation efforts, such as the establishment of protected areas and anti-poaching patrols, have provided some hope, the future of the Saiga antelope remains precarious. The species is under constant threat from poaching, disease, and habitat loss, and the rise of climate-related disasters adds a chilling layer of uncertainty. Even with recent recoveries, any future epidemic, poaching spree, or environmental change could rapidly push the species back to the brink of extinction. The plight of the saiga is not just a local issue, it is a global conservation priority. Efforts to save the saiga must focus on transboundary cooperation, stronger enforcement of anti-poaching laws, and addressing climate change impacts. The story of the Saiga antelope is a stark reminder of how fragile wildlife populations can be in the face of modern pressures. From poaching to pandemics, their survival is threatened by factors both human-made and natural. Without sustained and intensified conservation efforts, the shocking decline of the saiga could serve as a grim warning for other species at the edge of survival. The fight to save them is ongoing, but their future remains uncertain.